Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Lesti Kaslati Siregar. I would like to present my research entitled Culturally Responsive English Teaching or CRET Policy Implementation by Integrating Culture in English Teaching. I will start from the abstract. This research explores on implementation of culturally responsive English teaching or CRET, which is integrated traditional game Alip Brondok as part of culture in Medan, Sumatra. There are one teacher and 21 students as the participant of this research. They come from grade 5 of elementary school. This research is qualitative study. Data were collected via observation, interview, documentation, and self-reflection. There are two results. The first is the implementation of CRET itself, and then the impact of student learning result. The design of CRET, teaching implementation, and the students' learning result prove that integrating traditional game as a part of culture helps the English teaching for elementary students and as the result of responding language policy. This presentation will be divided into 4 parts: introduction, methodology, result analysis, and the conclusions of the research. I will start from the introduction. English teaching and learning of elementary school keeps off discussion. The national curriculum did not state that English learning as the subject in elementary school, but local government set rules of the English learning policy. The government of Medan, Sumatra, set the rules about English teaching and learning in elementary. During the implementation of English as a local content, there are the obstacles of its implementation. The first is teachers must design the learning by themselves. The second is English has a complex learning material and grammar. The third part is uninterested teaching method and technique from the teacher. And the fourth point is about the time constraint. As a result, students do not get actively involved in the class and they are not interested in learning. Based on the conditions, based on the obstacles, so we have an idea. We are combining elements of local wisdom as the mandate of language policy and integrating student social and cultural context. What are the student social and cultural contexts of this research? They are student learning style, family tradition, daily life habits, current student tradition, and student experiences when they were young. From this idea, so we design a model of teaching. The model of culturally responsive English teaching or CRET. And from that idea, the objective of this study are: the first is the implementation of model design of culturally responsive English teaching or CRET. In these objectives, we want to explore the implementation of the design of CRET, which is integrated Alip Brondok as a part of culture in increasing student ability in using preposition of place. The second objective is the impacts of student learning results. We want to explore student learning result after implementing model of CRET. And what are the literature review? What are the theory as the background of this idea, the background of this model? The first is culturally responsive teaching or CRET. CRET is integrating culturally knowledge, learning styles, and student experiences to make learning more effective. And CRT makes learning more interesting and the material can be understood by students easily, so the learning become more meaningful. The second theory is teaching English for young learners. Teaching English for young learners related to English teaching for students who have multicultural, multilanguage, and multi-ethnic. We know that learning a language cannot be separated from learning a culture, and integrating local culture in learning English has a significant influence on language skills. And The design model of CRET which is proposed is using traditional game as one of the cultural knowledge and as part of the student's tradition. The traditional game is as a technique of learning preposition of place. The traditional games is Alip Brondok. And how the methodology that used to get the finding of this research. This research is qualitative study, and the participant, a teacher and 21 students, and the data will be collected in this research are teaching implementation and student learning results, and the instruments observation, interview, student self-reflection, and documentation. From this methodology, we got the results analysis. Before I share the implementations of the model CRET by using game Alip Brondok, I want to explain how the model CRET itself. This model consisted of 5 principles such as content integration, student knowledge construction, translanguaging, cooperative work, and evaluation. And from the principles, we designed the teaching and learning sequences of model CRET. There are 5 P's. The first is exploration, language understanding, language practice, language production, and test and feedback. From these sequences, I'll share to you how the implementations of model CRET before I share about how the implementations of playing Alip Brondok in the class. The first exploration, language understanding, and then language practice, language production, and then test and feedback. The first objectives of this research is in the 4th phase, that's language production. So I want to share to you about the implementations of teaching preposition of place by using game Alip Brondok based on the 4th phase of the teaching and learning sequence of model CRET. There are 4 steps. The step 1 is, firstly, the teacher tells the student that they will play Alip Brondok. The teacher divides the student into 5 groups consisting of 4 until 5 students. The teacher prepares 5 objects in the classroom. The objects are flower pot, ball, eraser, broom, and book. The object is shown to the student and written on the blackboard so that students remember what objects they have to find. And this is the picture that show to you about the objects in the classroom. The use of objects in the classroom aims to make it easier for students because they are real objects and are around students and they have known about the things. The use of the real media creates a lively and enjoyable classroom that will increase student interest and motivation to learn English. Step 2. Students are given 5 minutes to wait outside the classroom, and the teacher gives a reminder that they should not peek at what the teacher is doing to the object. The teacher starts hiding things, and the objects are positioned into the following place, like the flower is on the floor, the ball is in the drawer, the eraser is beside the window, the broom is on the chair, and the book is on the table. This is the picture when the teacher gives the explanation to the students. Objects are hidden by emphasizing where they are. This activity aims for students to be able to build their minds so that they can construct the objects found into a sentence. The next step is step 3. Students and their groups look for hidden objects. So a teacher will call to the student to come again to the class, and then they play to their friend in the groups to look for hidden objects, and they split up and look for the object that is the target search, and students work together to find objects and write down their position. And this is the picture about the conditions how the student and their groups look for hidden objects. The collaboration and discussion activities that occur are a process of understanding the subject matter that occurs between students and groups. Step 4. Student completing their writing, correct and cross-check the answer together and read the result in front of the class. This is the pictures when they have find the object and then they discuss and write the sentence. And then the second picture also about the discussion to other friends. And then the third pictures about when they are reading the sentences. And from that implementations, so how the student learning result after they play Alip Brondok and after they can make the sentence of the tasks. So what are they? Their results? The first is they are showing efforts in writing the sentence preposition of place. From the playing Alip Brondok, it shows that they can make sentences using preposition of place based on the objects they find. They know the meaning of in, on, under, above, and beside. The traditional games that they often play with their friend help students master the material of preposition of place easily. The second learning result is they are cultivating an attitude of mutual cooperation and mutual discussion. Because of this model has some activities, and playing Alip Brondok has the activities that train students to be able to adapt to friends in the group. And the second point, they give their opinion each other in completing the tasks, and the step requires teamwork and honesty. Students are seen discussing with each other, sharing the opinion, justifying answers they think are wrong. And the step aims to develop student ability to work together, share tasks, and help each other. The third learning result is of course about the promoting cultural awareness. Students get an interesting experience in learning because the game is familiar for themselves. Students look happy and enthusiastic in playing and producing sentence, and they did not expect that the game Alip Brondok could be done in the classroom. So they feel more comfort and show their proudness in learning because using their daily game in learning. So based on the research, I have the conclusion. The first is the use of Alip Brondok emphasizes cooperative activities and team discussion to find hidden class objects. So through the game, students can make sentences containing the preposition of place that is adjusted to the position of the object found. The second conclusion is this game is able to eliminate students' anxiety in learning English and make learning more interesting. The integrations of traditional game is also strengthening students' love of their culture. That's all about the research, and this is the reference that I use for this research. Thank you very much for attention to listen my presentation, and I close with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.